There is a portion of Sibley County that doesn't have a lot of water resources, but they have some very good water resource gems. High Island Lake is one of them.
I see the eagles flying high, it's what I see.
It's on a small community called New Auburn. The citizens there designated that as their highest priority for a body of water in that watershed.
The lake is 1,634 acres.
Water quality is seriously degraded in this resource, mainly from agricultural inputs, various city inputs. The resource has been basically neglected over the last 50 years. Now, there's a newfound energized base of people that are demanding that this improve.
This is sponsored by Gaylord Game Protective League. It was put in when they did the dam in 1939. Before that, this was a natural inlet outlet, and then the cattails would grow up and the lake wouldn't drain down and they had trouble with water in town, so then they cleaned the ditch out and put the control structure in.
I work for an organization called Friends of the Minnesota Valley and the Coalition for a Clean Minnesota River, and we canvassed this area, and they said without a doubt High Island Lake was the most important to them, as well as the High Island Creek itself too. We started holding public meetings, getting people to weigh in on where they think the lake should go, what should become of the lake, and instead of lamenting the past, tried to get them to look towards the future.
The citizens of New Auburn and the people that live around the lake here came to us many years ago, and they said, we want to do something. We want recreation, we want hunting and fishing opportunities, we want clearer water, we want to be able to recreate and boat in the lake. And where once a month we came down, we talked about what some of the options were. We listened to the people down here, we learned what their goals and objectives were.
Well, we had landowners from the area, we had various agency people, elected officials, just plain citizens that were interested in the lake, several sportsmen's type groups, conservation organizations. So we had a good cross-section of the general populace. Excitement started to build, and it kind of brings us to today.
No, I think when we started the Lake Association,
it was pretty positive.
Everybody was willing to sign because we were told by the DNR that we needed to have 100% signatures in order to get the drawdown, and everybody that was a landowner signed. So I think it had been long enough. Everybody was looking for a change.
We talked about what fish we would stock. And from a fisheries perspective, we kind of settled on a plan where we would stock walleye fry. After a winter kill, chance of succeeding would be a lot better. What we hope to do mostly with the drawdown is to get a significant fish kill during one of the winters that we held the lake down. It gives the fish community that we want a better chance of succeeding. So the plan was to get walleye fingerlings for production, also produce a boom and bust walleye fishery. And there's some other benefits too. There are a lot of bullheads in the lake, and even after a significant winter kill, bullheads tend to take off. But if you get walleyes established right away, walleyes will help knock off bullheads. In southern Minnesota, real fertile waters like this, you can get 10, 11-inch walleyes in one growing season, 1 year, and you can get 13, 14-inch walleyes after a second year. And then the other thing that happens is walleyes can knock off fathead minnows. Fathead minnows graze on zooplankton. Zooplankton feeds on algae. So if you've got a ton of fathead minnows in a lake, they knock out the zooplankton population and algae takes off.
It's time we all understand that it's what we do on land that makes our water what it is today. This simple fact is true. It's controlled by me and you. It's time to fix the mistakes of yesterday.
We are witnessing the reconstruction of the outlet.
My staff and I came down here to help install a outlet control structure that we put in to help monitor the lake levels. Formed a concrete structure around the joints there in order to prevent leaking around there. And then when it's all done, we'll sit there and we'll tamp everything back in there. And we'll fill over and it'll be in the right contour here along with the lake.
It took about 2 years and people could see the bulrushes coming, and we said, well, that's good. That's what we want to see. And, then they get all excited again because, oh, I learned something new and, this is a positive thing for the lake.
When they rot, they don't repollute, whereas cattails do.
Yeah.
They feed it again. So the bulrushes was a pleasant surprise. The DNR even mentioned that when they flew over. So that energized them again also.
That's kind of where I get my sense of satisfaction is taking out these structures that were there for a purpose at one point, but today they don't serve much. Today it's all about restoration, connectivity, and restoring what we had and letting all these waters connect again. And by taking those structures out and watching fish literally pull in behind these boulder and rock structures that you just placed, that's satisfying.
Well, and a big part is to educate people on the importance of it, the benefit of doing some of these, so that you just have to keep having the meetings and inviting them and staying positive.
This spring when we totaled up for going around looking for money for our fundraisers, with our volunteer man hours, we've invested over $250,000 in High Island Lake. We have a lot of volunteers, I would say probably close to 50 with different projects that we've done. With the barley straw project, really works out good. The more that they see progress on High Island Lake, the more we get people involved, and especially the younger generation that can handle the shovel good, and
To come back later and see anglers on the shore fishing there and talking about how much the fishing has improved, that to me, that's the biggest pat on the back a man can receive. That's when you know that you did something right, when the public's there thanking you.
Today now we have a very vibrant organization set up there. They're learning and they're learning more and they're getting more and more savvy as time goes on as a conservation-minded group, and cleaning up the lake. They've worked with the DNR. They're learning how to work with other individuals locally, and now they've understood that they've met the enemy and it was them. And that's the aha moment. Talking about more improvements in putting in rain gardens in the city of New Auburn. They've already put in several and they're going to put in a lot more. They plan on getting the whole city on rain gardens instead of curb and gutter. That's their dream, is to make that a 100% rain garden city without any storm sewers.
We went back to our town to see what we could do. The kids found out the storm sewer was running straight on through. They told the people there to watch what they were dumping, cause that motor oil and antifreeze is really, really something. Clean it up. Yeah, let's clean it up. Well, the kids told me we'll